Okay, this is raw. Senator Rick Santorum's campaign accusing Governor Mitt Romney's campaign of rigging the outcome of an election. Now, why does the Santorum camp say that? Dick Morris joins us. Good evening, Dick.
Hey, how are you doing, Greta?
Very well. So there's a lot of unhappiness tonight in the Santorum campaign. They think that they got cheated in Michigan because there were two at-large delegates. Then they thought they would get one, and that Governor Romney would get the other. And it turns out Governor Romney got both. So fair or not fair? Explain it first.
I wouldn't make a big deal out of two delegates. There are 2,400. What happened is that Michigan is a proportional representation state, and 28 of the delegates get elected by congressional district. And Romney and Santorum both carried 7, so they get 14 each. And then there are 2 at-large delegates, and the state committee says that it said this would go to the winner. But they wrote a memo saying it would be proportional representation. And then they walked back from the memo. They said we made a mistake. We always planned it to be winner take all, and we did. The thing that I am focused on in Michigan, though, and I'm very serious about it and grossly upset by it, is that Romney won Michigan by a huge margin among the Republicans and the independents. It was only that 1 voter out of 10 was a Democrat, and the Democrats voted for Santorum by 3-1. There were 100,000 Democrats who came out to the polls in Michigan who backed Santorum. And that doesn't happen just by accident. That happens because they were pulled out by the UAW and by the Democratic Party. And I'll tell you, Greta, I'm not for Romney, and I'm not for Santorum, and I'm not for Gingrich. I'm uncommitted. But I'll be darned if Barack Obama is going to tell me who the Republican candidate ought to be. And if he says that he's for Santorum, which is effectively what he did, because he's easy to beat, I think we should all take account of that.
Well, the only thing that I will say in Senator Santorum's defense on this is he got sort of cheated in Iowa. He won Iowa, but he didn't get to do the victory speech that night. He found out a week or 2 later. And I guess, you know, that while there may have been mischief, as you suggest, the Democrats going out to vote for Santorum, is that I think it's probably disheartening to sort of, you know, it's not a big deal, 1 delegate, but when you work your heart out and you think you got a little bit cheated. And even former Attorney General Mike Cox, who's a Romney supporter, said that he thought that it wasn't fair to Santorum. Yeah. So I mean, it's one delegate, but it's it's not fun.
But there's a more important issue here. These proportional representation primaries, 54% of the delegates are chosen by proportional representation. 46 are winner take all. If Santorum loses almost every single primary in the North, the Midwest, and the West, and Gingrich and he divide up the South, which I think will probably happen. I think Gingrich will win Georgia. I think Santorum will win Tennessee and Oklahoma. And Romney will win all the other states. But if that happens and Romney loses 1 or 2 of those northern states, this thing becomes deadlocked. And you go to the convention with Romney like 100 votes short, 1,100 delegates, Santorum 400, Gingrich 400, Ron Paul 200. And we have to wait until September 1st to have a nominee. That would be a catastrophe. And as far as I'm concerned, the best argument that I've ever seen for voting for Romney, and I am undecided because I like Santorum's issue positions, is that it is clear that Barack Obama and the Democratic Party are dying to run against Santorum and scared to death of running against Romney. That's very persuasive to me.
Is there any way that we just had Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich on, if he wins Georgia, does he have, wind in his sail, and is he back in the game? Because he hasn't won since South Carolina.
Yeah, he's back in the game because there's a real chance of this whole thing deadlocking and becoming totally destructive to the Republican Party. If he wins Georgia, I think he'll probably win Mississippi. He'll probably win Alabama. He has a decent shot in Louisiana. He's already got South Carolina. He might do very well in North Carolina. And that might give him 300 delegates. Not enough to win. You need 1144. But if he gets 300 and Paul gets 200 and Santorum gets 400, they could block Romney from getting a majority, and that could absolutely kill our chances, because we'll be fighting over this darn thing until September 1st. The convention is late this year. It's August 27th. And if we don't get a nominee by May or June, we can kiss our chances against Obama goodbye.
Well, it's certainly not going to be dull, will it? And we got to go, but thank you, Dick.
Thank you.
Straight ahead, the Senate goes to battle over birth control.